Happy holidays, guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to slay your holiday look. If this is what you'd like to see, keep on watching. So I'm going to start by hydrating the skin, allow it to absorb into the skin before moisturizing. You can use any moisturizer of your choice. Just know that moisturizer is very important whenever you're doing your makeup. After the moisturizer, I'm going to let it dry into the skin before moving on to primer. For primer, I'm going to be using my Milk of Magnesia to prime her skin. This really works for me. I don't know for you, but if you want your makeup to last, this product is actually good. But if you don't have it, you can make do with your primer. I'm going to let this dry properly into the skin before foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing these two shades of Zickel foundation. This is shade 20 and shade 25. So I mixed the two together before applying it on the skin, then blended with my beauty sponge. Can you see that it matches with her skin tone? Then after that, I'm going to be setting the face just to lock in the foundation. Allowed it to dry before moving on to cream contour. For cream contour, I'm going to be using a darker shade of foundation to contour her face. This cream contour that I used is Zickel foundation in the shade 025 because I mixed the 20 and 25 to get her perfect skin. So to contour the face, I used the darker shade, which is the 25, to contour her face. I'm just using my brush. Then after that, I blended with my beauty sponge to avoid any harsh lines. Moving on to cream blush, I'm going to be taking this shade from my lip palette and apply it above the cheekbone and a little bit on the tip of the nose, then blended with my beauty sponge. So I like to use my lip palette as my blush. It works very well. So if you don't have a cream blush, you can make use of your lip palette. Then next is to highlight the face with concealer. I'm going to be taking this shade of concealer from my concealer palette. I think this is like the second time I'm trying this palette. I don't really use it, so I'm just blending the concealer on the highlighted area. After blending it in, next is to contour the nose. I'm going to be using the same shade of foundation that I used to contour the face to contour the nose. So I first of all used a flat brush to apply it first before blending with my beauty sponge to avoid any harsh lines. Then after that, I'm going to be applying a lighter shade of concealer on the areas underneath the eyes and a little bit on the bridge of her nose, just to make this part light, like more highlighted than the outer corner. Then after that, I blended with my beauty sponge. So next to set the concealer, I'm going to be using my Mirac setting powder in the shade Cinnamon. But before that, I went back to blend the areas underneath her eyes to avoid creasing before setting. So while setting, do not pack too much setting powder. A little setting powder goes a long way. So next is to set the rest of her face. I'm going to be using her Exact powder shade from my Bicham powder palette to set the rest of her face. So whenever you want to set the rest of your face, do not use a shade lighter or darker. Just make sure the shade you're using matches with your skin color. Then next, I'm going to be applying a lighter shade of powder on the highlighted area just to give it a little bit of coverage. Next is to do my dry contouring, which is low light contouring. I'm going to be taking a darker shade of powder to set the cream contour that I did earlier. Then after that, I'm going to be doing the same thing on the nose. So moving on to powder blush, I'm going to be taking this shade of blush from my Cheesecake blush palette and apply it above the cheekbone, exactly the place I applied the cream blush, and a little bit on the tip of the nose. So it's best to apply your powder blush above your cheekbone. Then after that, I used my powder brush to blend everything together. Then next, I'm going to be setting the face. This is going to help reduce the powder effect and also help all the products absorb properly into the skin, after which I allowed it to dry well into the skin before moving on to baking. For baking, I'm going to be using the same setting powder that I used to set the face to bake the face. So I took off the hairband, corrected the hairline off camera. Then after that, I'm going to be doing her brows. I'm going to be applying a little brow balm on her brows just to lay it nicely. Then moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be priming her lid with my Vianch eyeshadow base. Then moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to be taking this shade of eyeshadow from this Feeble eyeshadow palette. I'm going to start by applying it from the outer corner of her lid, then gently blend it into her crease. Then I did the other eyes as well, following the same method. Then next, I took that orange color with a different eyeshadow blending brush to blend out the eyeshadow, just to give this eyeshadow a little bit of color. This is more like a transition color. Then after that, I went back with the brush I used to apply the primer. I went back using it to blend the inner corner of her lid. And after that, I'm going to be taking this shade of eyeshadow from my Blossom eyeshadow palette and apply it on the inner corner of her lid. I'm using a different eyeshadow brush, so I'm just gently pressing it in. So with this, you're going to, make the eyeshadow pop. Then after that, I went back with the first eyeshadow that I applied. I went back applying more of it just to, blend, so there won't be any form of demarcation. So next, I'm going to be taking this darker shade from my Annie's Beauty eyeshadow palette. I'm going to just apply it on the outer corner, then gently blend it towards her crease. I'm going to be doing the other eyes as well, following the same method. So I went back to blend her crease so there won't be any harsh lines. After that, I'm going to be lining her upper and lower lash line with my Carrot gel liner. So next, I'm going to be applying a lighter shade of powder on the outer corner of her lid just to define the lid. Then next, I'm going to be drawing her brows with my Carrot gel liner, the brown shade. So I'm going to start by following the shape of her brows. Then I brushed it with my spoolie brush. Then next is to highlight the brows. I'm going to be using the same concealer that I used to highlight the face to highlight the brows. I always like to start from the brow bone, and I do not like to pack too much concealer, especially if I do the eyes before the brows. So I'm just highlighting. After highlighting with a little concealer, I blended it immediately so that it doesn't get dry and look tacky. Then I did the other brows as well, following the same method. So next is to set the concealer. I'm going to be using a lighter shade of powder from my palette to set the concealer. After you're done highlighting, you need to set the concealer. After setting it, I went back with that shade that I used as the transition shade. I went back applying more of it just to use it to blend out so that there won't be any form of demarcation. Then next, I'm going to be highlighting the top of the brows. I'm going to be using her foundation shade to highlight the top of the brows. You don't need to use the same concealer that you used underneath the brows to highlight the top. It's going to make the top of the brows look very light. So it's better you use your foundation shade to highlight the top of the brows, or a darker shade of concealer to highlight the top of the brows. And you don't even need to pack too much concealer, just tiny concealer or foundation will be enough. So guys, I did the lip off camera. I didn't know it wasn't recording, but I used a brown lip liner to outline the lip, then used a light pink lippy in the middle. Then next, I'm going to be enhancing her natural lashes with my Zero mascara in order to give it volume. After that, I'm going to let it dry before wearing her lashes. So I'm going to gently wear her these lashes. Then next, I'm going to go back with my contour brush. I'm going to go back to blend the places I contoured. One thing with makeup application is how you blend. So I'm just gently blending. Then I went back with the blush brush. I went back to apply more blush because I love blush. Guys, I love blush. So I'm just gently applying it, making sure everything is sitting well into the skin. Then I went back to touch the nose again. So I'm just using my nose contour brush to properly snatch the nose. So next is the dust of any excess powder or any harsh lines on the face. I'm just starting with the contour brush. I'm making sure there are no harsh lines, blending everything well. Then next, I'm going to gently dust off the excess powder on the highlighted area. So I'm using a small fluffy brush to gently dust off the excess powder. Then I glossed her lip. I just applied a little gloss because she requested for a glossy lip. Then I blended it well. Then after that, I'm going to be enhancing her lower lashes with the same mascara. So I went back to apply a little lighter shade of powder on the outer corner of her lid because I want it to pop very well. I'm still going to dust it off. Then after that, I went back with my powder brush to blend everything together to be sure everything is well blended. Then I gently dust off the excess powder I applied on the outer corner of her lid. Can you see how sharp that end looks? So I'm just gently taking it off. Then after that, I'm going to be pressing her false and natural lashes together so there won't be any demarcation. Then I went back with my powder brush to blend everything together, making sure there are no harsh lines. Then after that, I'm going to be setting the face with my Keys Beauty setting spray. So I always like to cover the eyes and the lip sometimes. Then I'm going to let it dry properly into the skin before moving on to highlighter. For highlighter, I'm going to be using my Tehila highlighter and blush palette. I'm going to be mixing these two shades and apply it on the places I want the highlight to pop. After that, I'm going to go back with my powder brush to blend so there won't be any harsh lines. Then next, I'm going to be applying my Miss Messy cheek glaze. I'm just going to apply it on the places I apply the highlighter. This is just going to help the face to glow. Then I'm going to be sealing up the makeup with my all-nighter spray. So this is the finished look, guys. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.